Hey guys, Jim here. Time to get into something I haven't done in a long time, which is a video on Olamic Cutlery. It's been actually a couple of years, and I tell you, one of the fun things about doing what I do here with these reviews is to see brands come from either obscurity or limited popularity or just kind of keeping pace to all of a sudden exploding when more and more and more people get a chance to see the great work that some of these makers and some of these companies are doing. And Olamic was one of them. When I first got a chance to review an Olamic knife, it was the Wayfarer. And at that point, not a lot of people really knew a lot about them. And this was before Instagram got really big for the knife community. It was pretty much just the forums and YouTube if you were going to learn about new knives. Yeah, you can pick up, a book, Blade Magazine or something, but we really don't tend to rely on those as much anymore. It's really about social media and seeing what other people with similar preferences to ours seem to be going after. And I had the chance to get the Wayfarer built for me, and just what an amazing, amazing knife. But one of the first things I told Eugene when I got the knife was, I love it, it's great, it's fantastic. I only wish it was a little bit smaller, because it's a pretty big knife. I said, you guys have got to make a Wayfarer compact in a 3.5-inch blade. Lo and behold, about two and a half years later, they did exactly that. And I'm not saying it's because I said they should do it, but I was one of the first people to say, hey, I would love to see a smaller version. And I didn't jump on it right away because I wasn't sure about this part of the handle. They changed the shape of the knife a little bit and brought kind of a fighter style to the grip of the handle. I was like, oh, I really don't know. Let me see. And then all of a sudden, they decided to create a Midtech version, which is this, called the 247. And I liked it. I liked it a lot. And then I saw this version with the 5 holes. And I believe it was done at the behest of Sacco at Recon 1, because I know at least the very first shipment went only to Sacco, and it may be an exclusive to him, so you definitely want to check out recon1.com to see when he does have these. But I saw it and went, you know what, I really dig how that looks. I'm a big fan of having holes in the frame if it's done right, a la Tom Mayo. And with these, it's done right. I like the fact that you can see the blade when it's in its closed position, and then you can obviously see inside the frame when it's open. Another thing that is important for me, and a lot of companies don't do this, I like to have this bowl. I don't like just to see a straight hole go in. I like that bowl, and I like the bowl polished. And these are just done wonderfully. It looks fantastic. I think that this visually is an extraordinary knife. Another thing that makes it extraordinary is the price. These start for the base version, which is just like this but without the holes, for $375. Now realize you're getting LMAX steel, you're getting a titanium frame lock, custom clip for $375. One of the cool things about Olamic is they try to make every knife unique. So if they made 1,000 Wayfarers, I bet you they only repeated the same style maybe a dozen times or so. And that may have just been from customer requests, but they love to make unique, different knives for each one, different materials on the handles, different blades, different grinds, different finishes throughout, different anodizing, backspacers, you name it. They love to customize them and make them unique. And they're actually doing the same thing on this Midtech line. So when you see them listed somewhere, either on a dealer site or when Olamic is posting them on Instagram, you'll notice that every one is pretty unique. They've done some killer duplex grinds and mirror polishes and satin finishes and different back spines and just crazy, crazy shit. So that even if you're in the price range of only getting into a Midtech, you're getting a pretty, customized knife out of it. And the real reason they decided to do this line is the reason why a lot of custom makers do, because they hear back from their customers going, oh, I really love my knife, but it's so nice and it's so expensive, I'm afraid to use it. Well, shit, man, it's a knife. It's meant to be used. Whether it's hard use or light use, even if it's just carrying it in your pocket, you need to get that enjoyment out of it. But, listen, for a lot of people, spending $1,000 on a knife could be a major purchase. They may save up for months or a whole year to do. And at that point, you don't really want to screw it up, do you? No, not at all. So they decided, let's make a Midtech and let's shoot for the lowest price we possibly can. Midtechs generally start about $4.25, and anywhere between $4.25 and $800 for most brands or makers Midtechs. Here you're starting at $375. Holy shit. That's a great price. That puts you in the league of, the really high-end production knives. And here, each and every knife is hand inspected by Eugene before it leaves. You're getting a lot of custom touches. Look at the finishing for one. Nice clean satin on this blade. You're getting a premium steel, L-Max. You're getting a custom pivot, which the downside to that is you would actually need a specific tool in order to tear down your knife. So do keep that in mind. This is not a standard Torx head pivot. You're getting the custom embellishments however you order it or however they've made it available. Nice big lanyard opening here in the hump of the handle. In my case, I opted for the sculpted back spine in the multicolor. It looks like it's Mokutai or Timascus, however, it's just titanium. Yeah. A lot cheaper than getting into Mokutai or Timascus, that's for damn sure. So you've got a really cool pattern in there, and the light just dances off the colors and the polishing. Very, very nice job. Another nice touch is you have your pocket clip on standoffs. It's not just bolted into the frame. They've taken the time to manufacture the standoffs, put the clip on the standoff, screw it all in, and they're using a Todd Begg style ceramic bearing set into the clip so it's easier to get in and out of the pocket while maintaining a lot of tension. It's a very, very strong clip, and without that it would snag on the lip of your pocket. So this is a really great design. They did talk to Todd about doing this, and Todd Begg was cool with it, and it looks fantastic. You are getting a steel lock bar insert that's hidden. It's not just the tip of the lock bar, it's hidden behind it. And you get the over travel, which is very clearly visible right there. Of course you're getting bearings. Of course you're getting a fantastic action. You can very easily light switch this. You don't need to push button it. I mean, you can. Oops, well, not really. Yeah, I guess you can. But it definitely is a light switcher. Very, very smooth, very fast, very well done all the way around. My concern was going to be, especially when you're looking at a flipper knife. So when your flipper's closed, when your blade is closed, not a big deal. When your flipper comes down, when the blade is open, now you have almost a finger guard, right? Well, this is a very curved one. So now I know that I'm not going to be able to get my hands up really far on the handle. So my worry was this right here. And I'll be honest, I do feel a little bit cramped. Not enough to where I don't carry the knife. I really have enjoyed it. But I would prefer a little more room. If this wasn't so curved, if it was a little bit straighter back here, I would call this perfect ergonomics. But for my particular hand, again, for your reference, I wear a size large glove. If you wear a smaller glove, then you're probably not going to have any issues at all. If you wear like an XL glove, man, this is not going to be the knife for you. You're going to hate it. It's not going to feel good in your hand. That thing's going to be sitting there like this, and it's going to annoy the piss out of you. But aside from that one gripe, I've been loving the shit out of this. The day that it arrived, the very next day, the first day I was able to carry it, we were moving my offices from one building to another. We decided to buy another company and merged in with that office there. And so did a lot of cutting down of boxes and tape and bullshit and slicing stuff down and stuff, and this happened to be the knife in my pocket, and it did fantastic. Super nice thin edge on that LMAX blade, very, very sharp, performed every task perfectly, just as you would expect from any good high quality knife. The difference is, this really is like carrying a custom knife in your pocket. You just don't have the expense. Think of this, you could spend $800 plus and get into the compact Wayfarer, okay, which is the custom, and you can dictate all of the many myriads, many different ways, the myriad of ways that you can have that done. Or you could spend $375 base price on the 247. And if you're ordering directly from Olamic and say, hey, you know what, I want 8 holes on mine, or I don't want any holes, but I want it blue anodized with mirror polishing around the edges, and then I want this back spacer, and I want it anodized green, whatever the hell you want to do. I want a compound grind, and I want it mirror polished on the flats, and you can do all that stuff just as if it were a custom. Now again, everything that you add is an additional, cost. Please keep that in mind. I'm not saying you're going to get all the bells and whistles for $375. What I'm holding here is about $500 by having the holes and the back spine done like it is. And that's still a far cry. That's still $300 cheaper than the compact Wayfarer Custom. So you're still getting a world of options at a really, really, really nice price. And that really is what Olamic does so very, very well. They give you a fantastic knife, premium quality materials. Even in the Midtech, they're all the edges are done by hand, everything is hand fitted, the lock is set by hand, the D10 is set by hand, in-house by them, and you're getting into a great budgetary option. And again, I don't know why, I stress this so much, and yet we still get the trolls in the comments down below. Let me clarify what that means. No, if all you buy are $20 Schrades, this is not a budgetary option. I understand that. The difference between eating every day at McDonald's and going to Ruth's Chris, apparently that goes over some of y'all's heads. Let me break it down again. If you're only spending 20 bucks on a knife, no, this is not a budgetary option. For someone who is buying premium knives, custom knives, even Midtech knives, this is a budgetary option because it is a lower price based on how it's built than the competitors that are putting theirs out there. If this were a full custom knife, with no differences, everything identical, the same LMAX steel, the same finishing, the same holes, the same back spine, the same clip, this would be between $800 and $900 from pretty much any custom maker. So to spend $375 on it, yes, it is a budgetary option. And I always hate taking up a minute or two of the video to over-explain that, but for some reason, no matter how I gloss over it or go into over-explaining it, there's always somebody going, hell man, I don't know what this guy does for a living, but he's calling a $400 knife budgetary. I don't even know how to spell budgetary, but I don't like it. Oh, I don't like the sound of that. So now I've broken it down for you yet again. So there it is, guys. We're going to keep this relatively short, under 15 minutes here. I just want to say thank you to Eugene for making a wonderful, affordable option like this. It's going to make a lot of people happy. It really is. I've talked to several owners of these knives before I got mine, and they loved it. They said, oh, yeah, you definitely need to get one of these. It's going to be a really great EDC knife. And it is, when you consider the fact that it's just a touch over 8 inches overall, 3.5 inch blade, and fairly lightweight. And when it's closed, it's 4 3/4 inches. Yeah, it's only a 1/2 inch wide. This is a great EDC size knife. It really is. You've got some nice custom touches. You've got a great steel. Fantastic action, as we have come to expect from Olamic. What is there not to like? Seriously, what's not to like? So if you get the chance, pick one of these up, and I promise you, you're going to love it as much as I love mine. And, hey, you know, if you can save money in the process, then that's just fucking awesome. That's great. I would say, you know what, if this was $475 in its basic form instead of $375, it would be a stellar deal. But the fact that they pushed and pushed and pushed to get that price as low as they could, I think it's going to satisfy a lot more people. It's going to put an Olamic in more people's pockets, and that's what it's all about. Experience the quality. Don't buy some Joe Blow whatever just because you can't spend a lot of money. Get yourself into a good high quality Midtech. Have something that's show worthy. You know, it looks as good as a custom, but you're not as afraid to use it. All right, guys, I'm out of here for now. I'll catch you on the next video.